Good morning, Warriors! Back with another episode of Vigor Warriors 2 and the 1% Club. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope you guys are on your purpose. It is early this morning, but I wanted to get one out before we had a chance to get moving, get our conquest for the day, and keep moving forward. Good morning, good morning, good morning. So, thank you guys for all your comments. I'm getting a bunch of those. A couple comments yesterday kind of deal with the topic we're going to talk about today, and that's going to be physical stimulants. Are they good for semen retention? Does it help? Let's talk about that a little bit. But first, go ahead, comment, donate. I'll put some donation types of the link down there that you can do that with. I have to kind of do more than what I'm doing now, but that's the least of my concerns right now. I want to get sure to get this information out to you guys. So a couple of the questions, and there's one on Asphrodisics, and the other one was kind of talking about different types of things you can take as sexual type of stimulants. So let me kind of tell you how I feel about this whole thing after all these years. I don't believe in putting anything in my body that's not going to help me, especially if I think it's going to hurt me. And we've seen this obviously over the last couple of years, and you probably can guess how I felt and I reacted to this whole thing. I'm not really going to do that because I feel like after all these years, especially now that I'm on this journey, I guess if I wasn't on this journey before that, I would probably have a different viewpoint. But because I've been on this journey, in my mind, God has given you all the things you need for your temple of work and your body. And so you don't necessarily have to add a lot of things to it. Now, I do recognize that back in the old days, and I'm talking about 100 years ago, 1930s and 40s, 50s, things like that, the foods had a lot more nutrients in it and a lot of those things. So I understand why people end up taking vitamins, and there's once in a while that I'll take zinc or turmeric. I'll take different things at different times if I feel like I'm not getting enough of a certain type of vitamin, but that's not something I do on a regular basis. I just feel like that, once again, we're in this blue matrix, and I decided that I was not doing well doing all those things that people recommend doing. You know, taking certain types of things. And I have not been sick in a long, long time. Yes, I'll get sneezes once in a while. Yes, I will get, runny nose, things like that. But I have not been sick. And I attribute that to a lot of the fact that I'm keeping clean as far as all these things that put in your body. Now, there's two issues that I have that I'm dealing with. And that's going to be the carbohydrates, and that's going to be the sugars. Those are two of my problems. But as far as alcohol goes, I don't drink alcohol anymore. I used to do it when I was younger. I don't obviously do any drugs or anything like that. I don't believe in any of that kind of stuff. And certainly I don't believe in a lot of stimulants. Now, if you're struggling, like we talked about before, you have to have some kind of sexual energy here, my friends, to be able to transmute it. This is what Napoleon Hill said. That's an issue that you may have to take some stimulants, according to your doctors and things like that. That's a different type of situation that I'm talking about. But if you're naturally a person who gets a lot of sexual energy and has a lot of energy, you don't necessarily need to kind of add to it. I don't believe. So the stimulants, the aphrodisiacs, these type of things, I don't believe are things that you need to have to add to things. People have asked me about different types of things to add to building testosterone, things like that. Certainly, I think that's a thing between you and your doctor if you need that kind of help. I felt mine was low, and I think all the things I'm doing has raised it. Retention, I think, is one huge one. There's been studies out that it shows that it raises testosterone. I mean, people can argue either way on some of this stuff. Cold showers, I believe, help. I think diet helps. I think exercise certainly helps. I think all these things help. They also, water helps, thins the blood, those type of things. I think all this stuff can help you. But I think you have to kind of, we're all individually different, warriors, in how we approach things. But the key to me is, and I guess I look at this as more of an energy type of thing, The more we pollute our bodies with things and put things in our bodies, the less of a warrior we are. And the reason I say that is because of experience of all these years of doing a lot of those things and putting a lot of those things in my body. And what I see is now that I've been in more of a clean state, I guess you'd call it, over the last 3 years, I feel better than I've ever felt. Now, is that something that you should just totally ignore those things? Probably not. But the issue really is, as you look at these things, God has given you, in my opinion, enough things that you don't need to depend on the outside world to be able to help you with that. God has given you in the body. The body is a tremendous masterpiece that you have. And the masculine male body is phenomenal. Now, I think we end up contributing a lot of our own problems. The way we eat, the lack of exercise, all those type of things add to it. So we hurt ourselves a lot, I believe, in the process, warriors, than helping us. And so now we get in situations where now we have to kind of fix ourselves. And so people, because they're very image conscious, they try to fix themselves. But it never is never the right thing to do, because down deep, they have to kind of figure out, each one of us, the way to become the best person we become. This is why we do the channel. This is why we talk about these things. Because the idea is to be able to learn self-control. And self-control means using the things within yourself, not having to trust things outside. And that's my belief in this. Don't trust the things outside to make you feel better. Work on your inside and see what those type of things can use to help. Now, of course, you cannot get away from using some of the outside things. But the idea is you want to keep that to a decrease as possible, less as possible, to be able to be strong in who you are. You want to keep your full natural self. I guess that's kind of where I go back to, the natural self. As you look at this, God has given you a tremendous body, a tremendous force. Now, are you going to use that force for good things? Well, that's one of your questions. That's one of the warrior questions we have to ask. The second is, are you going to keep your body in the best shape you can? And I say over the years, I probably have not done my best. I'm doing better now, but over the years I didn't. And especially when I played football and a lot of things that I did over the years, those type of things did not contribute to a positive type of result. But now, over the last 3 years especially, and over the last, since 1998, 99, something like that, since I started doing the Fountain of Youth type of exercises, those type of things have helped a great deal. And now I feel like I'm better. I'm back on the right track over the last 20 years than I was in the first 30, 35 years or so. So I think as we look at this, the key is going to be that I don't believe you need help unless there's some kind of physical problem that you have to get help with. That's a different situation, and I'm not a doctor, so I don't know anything about that part of it. You may need, and they may recommend things, but always be careful again. When people recommend, I always believe getting second, third opinions on things to make sure that you're getting the right information, because you don't want to do things that are going to end up hurting your body in the long run. And I think that we're very easily deceived in the society. We think someone, because they are a doctor or someone who has some kind of medical thing on the wall, that they're somehow the expert God, and they know information, but they're not the end all. And I know, because I have degrees, multiple degrees myself, but I don't know everything. In fact, I don't believe I'm that smart anyway. To be honest with you, I think the thing I learned as I get my graduate degrees is that I'm not that smart. I may have information in a certain area, but life has got lots of information. If I was that smart, I would have been doing this stuff a long time ago. So I'm not. So anyway, joking aside a little bit here, I think the thing is, guys, is that anything that is stuff that's going to change you or add to it, I think sounds like a good thing, but be wary of this, because I would not do this kind of stuff. I would not add things to yourself that is not natural. That to me kind of defeats the purpose God has given you. And I think what I've learned over time is this is a natural process, and that's something, warriors, that you cannot replace. All right, so thanks a lot for the comments on that one, and hopefully I kind of gave some answers to that. We'll try to do another one soon. I think Alan had a good comment. I want to kind of mention the next one. And once again, great job, guys. Continue to help give me topics and things to talk about, and I appreciate all your feedback. Have a great day, my friends, and remember, every day is a new day to a great warrior. And so, battle